I am not sorry for something I didn't do, and I am not sorry for the things I did do.
Mr. O'Neill,
All right.
listen, stop,
All right.
listen to me.
I'm not
You're not gonna raise your voice again.
I'm
You're
not going to raise my
your
voice again. I'm not.
I will have you removed from this courtroom. I can sentence you without you being present.
Yes, ma'am.
You don't conduct
I
yourself.
understand, Your Honor.
Thank you.
But I will say, I'm sorry for your loss.
19 years I've been at this job.
This isn't just another courtroom breakdown. What you're about to witness is one of the most chilling, emotionally devastating sentencing statements a judge has ever delivered. A case so horrific, even seasoned first responders broke down. The defendant, unapologetic. The crime, beyond comprehension. At the center of the storm, Ron Nivy O'Neill, an innocent little girl with disabilities, betrayed in the most monstrous way imaginable. You'll hear the judge relive unspeakable acts, the 911 call that captured a real-time scream of death, and a mother's final moments splatter across a kitchen, once filled with words like faith, love, and family. This is a case that haunts everyone it touches. And once you hear it, it won't let go. Stay with us. You won't believe what happens next.
I've seen human beings killed at the hands of others in every way imaginable. You name it, I've seen it. Shootings, stabbings, drownings, suffocatings, blown apart by cars, some DUI manslaughter cases, horrible things. This is the worst case I have ever seen as far as the facts go. When the person from fire department, when he testified, and when he said that he retrieved the body.
When a judge with 19 years on the bench calls this the worst case she's ever seen, you know something unthinkable took place. She's witnessed everything from shootings to drownings, but this shattered her. And it wasn't just a brutality. It was a deliberate cruelty, the sheer inhumanity of it all. That level of darkness leaves a mark. Imagine being so scarred by a case that you admit to the courtroom you'll be haunted by it forever. That's not just judgment. That's trauma speaking from the bench.
Of Ronivia O'Neill from the home. And all he could do was sob. It took every ounce I had not to start sobbing too. Because there is no way any person with any feeling could have witnessed or seen the photos of what occurred that night and not be haunted for the rest of your life. I know I will be. For the rest of my life, I'll be haunted by what I saw as far as the evidence and just the abject cruelty of it all. The abject cruelty. And I was aware, because I reviewed a lot of the discovery ahead of time, as you well know, did a lot of in-camera inspection of a lot of documents. And I was aware there was some evidence, at least, that when you needed to recover from your gunshot wound, that neither your parents nor your Aisha, Miss Robinson, would let you come recover at their home. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm not going to get into a dispute. I'm just mentioning there was some evidence referencing that in the records. And all I could think about, because I knew that Miss Barron was not with you romantically at the time, and I knew that she just out of the goodness of her.
Let that sink in. This wasn't just hard for the judge. Even the first responder, someone trained to handle chaos, had to stop in his tracks. It took every ounce of strength not to break down. That kind of emotional reaction from professionals is rare, and it tells us one thing. This wasn't just a crime scene. It was a nightmare, one so grotesque, so heartbreaking, that the people who are paid to stay calm couldn't hold it together. This case broke people permanently.
Heart let you come stay with her. And it is beyond tragic that that critical decision ended in so much horror for her and for her children. It is unspeakably cruel what happened as a result of that one decision. The way that Ms. Barron died was horrific, and that 911 call, which captured truly all of it. You heard, and everyone who's heard that 911 call heard a death scream. If anybody ever wants to know what it sounds like before a human being dies, knowing that their death is imminent, that's exactly what it is.
This moment is especially gutting. The judge reflects on a single, seemingly kind decision. Ms. Barron letting the defendant stay in her home during his recovery. That act of compassion ended in unthinkable horror. It's a brutal reminder of how a good deed can tragically backfire when placed in the hands of a dangerous person. Ms. Barron didn't just open her door. She unknowingly opened it to evil, and her children paid the ultimate price.
That was a death scream.
We're going to see if it's true.
But what happened to little Ranivia and to little Ronnie, but I'm going to focus on Ranivia, because she was special. And you could tell Miss Barron had done everything she could to create a beautiful home for her family. I noticed that the Ranivia's bedroom, before you set it on fire, you could tell she tried so hard to make her feel like a princess. Kenyatta did everything she could. And I noticed too in the kitchen, on the refrigerator, she put up magnets that said faith, love, family, hope. And then you know what else happened at the refrigerator during that night?
You heard that right. The judge doesn't mince words. What was recorded on that 911 call was a death scream. Not just panic, not just fear. The raw, guttural sound of a woman realizing she's moments from death. It's rare that a courtroom ever references this kind of audio, but the judge brings it up with brutal clarity. It's not just evidence. It's a haunting echo of the victim's final moments, forever trapped in that recording. If that doesn't chill you, nothing will.
Splattered with blood all over it due to what happened. Little Ranivia, she couldn't scream, she couldn't run away, and she witnessed what you did to her mother as far as shooting her mother in the arm with the gunshot. She knew. And the horror that child suffered. And she already had a life where she was born with challenges regarding her physical and her mental disabilities. But the pain and suffering that she suffered that night at your hands, unspeakable, absolutely unspeakable. And at the moment, that first time you struck her with that hatchet, and little Ronnie testified that all he could see was tears coming out of his sister's face.
This detail is gut-wrenching. The words on the fridge, faith, love, family, hope, once represented the warmth of a mother trying to give her children a normal, happy life. But by the end of that night, those words were covered in blood. It's a symbol of how violently that hope was destroyed. That refrigerator became a horrifying contrast. Loving words drenched in the aftermath of hatred. It's the kind of imagery you never forget.
Moment, that child knew. She knew she was being betrayed in the cruelest, most tragic and sorrowful way that a child could ever be betrayed. She was being betrayed by her parent, the one person that should be there to protect their children and love them and keep them from harm. And that was the last thing that child felt before she passed on from this earth, was your utter, cruel betrayal to her. And I read somewhere, and I don't know if it's true or not, I have no idea, but I read somewhere that souls pick their lives, and that they know exactly how difficult their lives are going to be before they enter into this world. And I don't know if that's true or not, but if it is, Ranivia O'Neal is one of the bravest souls I have ever come across in my 54 years on this planet. One of the bravest ever, ever, because she suffered.
This is the emotional apex of the judge's statement. The betrayal. This wasn't just a crime. It was a child with disabilities realizing her own parent was hurting her. Imagine the horror, the confusion, the heartbreak. That moment, when Ron Nivia's brother saw tears fall from her face, is something no child should ever witness. And the judge? She feels that betrayal. You can hear it in her voice, and it cuts deeper than any sentence ever could.
So traumatically.
This case is unforgettable. A mother who opened her home out of kindness. A child who suffered the ultimate betrayal. And a judge left haunted for life. This wasn't just a trial. It was a window into unspeakable cruelty, and the strength of those left behind to remember it. Ron Nivia's name deserves to be said with respect, with grief, and with purpose. If you found this case as shocking as we did, hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns. We break down the truth. No filters, just facts. Until next time, stay safe, stay smart, and never ignore the signs.